he really, really wants it. And I think that's one of the things that you've really seen develop this year, and his drive during this bubble. When he came to Los Angeles, obviously he wanted to try to raise the Lakers up to this level. But the impediments that they hit along the way, last year having a terrible year, not only not having success in the playoffs, but not even making it, and then all of the drama and all of the disaster that has happened this season has made this a brass ring that LeBron really, really wants. I will push back on the concept that LeBron's legacy is not secure. I believe his legacy is secure. I believe he doesn't have to take a third team to a title to qualify under some heading. But clearly, if you watched it, especially if you watched how he grabbed Game 5 Saturday night against the Nuggets and put the Nuggets down with an incredible fourth-quarter performance, you can sense just how much this means to him.
Brian, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. His legacy is certainly cemented where it's going to be, period. That's what it is. But what I would say, though, is if he took a third team, in particular the Lakers, given the fact that everything that has gone on with the organization over the last 2 years, whether it's Magic Johnson abruptly retiring and stepping down to the point of the pandemic, the Kobe situation, just everything, that it will kick his legacy up several notches.
Yeah, I think this is a difficult thing to discuss because it's talking about another team's failure. But if you look what happened to the Cavs when LeBron left the first time, then what happened when they came back. I mean, the concept of missing the playoffs and then going to the finals is lunacy. LeBron has now done that twice. He did that when he came back to Cleveland, and then he got hurt last year, but then he took this team to the finals. That's amazing. And you saw the Heat. The Heat missed the playoffs 3 times in like 20 years. Then LeBron left, and over 5 years they missed it 3 times. Okay, so now they're back. You look at the Lakers, 6 years in the desert. LeBron gets there and he has a healthy season. He has them in the finals. That ability to completely turn teams' fortunes around, and that's not just a passing statement. I mean turn them around, is one of the best things you could ever say about his ability to impact basketball. And so here, the Lakers, a very proud franchise, a great franchise, which has been to 32 finals now. So that speaks to their franchise, but hadn't even made the playoffs in 6 years. Shows just what he can do. And so I'm not sure that that's going to matter. There are certain people that are going to judge his career a certain way. There are certain people that are going to count statistics, count championships. When you look at the overall breadth of what he's been able to accomplish for 17 years and his impact on these teams, it's remarkable.
Brian, what matchup problems do the Lakers pose for the Heat?
So the Heat are probably going to play quite a bit of zone in this series. And zone was extremely effective against the Celtics and even against the Bucks. And it's a way to kind of mess with the Lakers, who like to play fast and at times struggle in half-court offense, especially late in games. And it's a way you can hide your bad defenders and use your real talent defense, especially Bam Adebayo, who will be the best defensive player Anthony Davis has seen in these playoffs. But when you play zone, you are very susceptible to offensive rebounding. And the Lakers used offensive rebounding almost as a sixth player in this series against the Nuggets. Dwight Howard excelled in that area. Anthony Davis, great offensive rebounder as well. So to me, this is going to be a fight at that base again. Can the Heat zone, which is as athletic and fierce as any zone I've ever seen, can it withstand the incredible ability that the Lakers have to push the ball up the court and to get those offensive rebounds?
Brian Windhorst joining us here on the morning, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Almost mentioned my last show I was on in L.A.
We're talking L.A.
I know, it's fine. When you look at what the Lakers are up against from a offensive standpoint against the Miami Heat, what problems do the Heat pose for them?
Well, I would say that, for as impressive as the Lakers have been in this playoffs, 5-5-5, in a Western Conference that is very, very competitive, that is a strong run. They have not faced a team with the overall athleticism and the overall depth that the Heat have. The Heat have 8 or 9 different guys that they can throw at you. And there's, they could have a different leading scorer. You play 6 games, you can have a different leading scorer in all 6 games. They are very maneuverable. And Eric Spoelstra has shown repeatedly throughout his career, but especially in these playoffs, that he can make adjustments within series and within games. He can undercut your game plan because he can say, okay, we're going to run through Jimmy Butler here. We're going to run through Tyler Hero here. We're going to have our center, Bam Adebayo, bring up the ball. We're going to spread the floor with shooters. We're going to go big. We're going to go small. Last night, he took Goran Dragic, who's been one of the best players in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and had him on the bench at the end of the game because he ran with Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. It's the variety that the Heat and Eric Spoelstra can have that will be a huge challenge to the Lakers.
How impressive it is to see 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs a year ago, both of these teams are now in the finals.
This is just something so I think some of it speaks to this strange season. What's crazy is that yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the Lakers opening training camp for this season. Okay? So you look at Tyler Hero, for example. This guy is a green rookie 1 year ago. But now you call him still a rookie, but he's been playing NBA basketball for a year. So he doesn't perform like a rookie. So part of it is the nature of this season. But if you watch these playoffs, these 2 teams have come a long way. But they both went 12-3. They both dominated their own conferences. We would not have said this in March when we shut down. We would not necessarily have said this, 6 or 8 weeks ago when I thought the Clippers were the best team in the West. But these 2 teams have shown to be not only the best teams, but the best teams by a significant margin. And I think we've got the correct teams in the NBA Finals, and I think we're going to see, I hope, highly competitive basketball because of it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.